Hey everybody, it's Tony Cataspati from Great Vocal Majority YouTube channel and website. Wanted to talk today about how it's possible for there to be an Astroturf campaign against anybody's sponsors on TV or radio, and how these people who do this, how they get it to work. And I think, in my opinion, this is how Bill O'Reilly got taken off the air. And this is really dangerous stuff, folks. So I think we really need to be concerned about it. But how do they do it? Well, first thing they do is you got hackers. That's the first thing you need to know. And you don't need a lot of hackers. You don't need an army of hackers. This can even be accomplished by one hacker if they know how to do it. And what they do is this. The first thing they do is they create a program, and it's from my understanding, I'm not a technical guy, but from my understanding, it's not a hard program to create that goes out to places like Yahoo or Hotmail or any of these other sites where you can get free email accounts and get them rather easily. You can get an unlimited number of email accounts. So that's what they do. They get as many as they think they're going to need, and using those phony email accounts, then they are able to create phony Twitter and Facebook accounts, and they use those Facebook and Twitter accounts to register complaints against whoever it is that they're targeting. And the way they do that, uh, in some cases, what they do is they use this software, an application called Spinning Application. And what that does, it's a legitimate piece of software when it's used legitimately, but when you use it for a nefarious purpose, like they're using it for, well, now then it could become a criminal situation. And what they do is they write a complaint letter or some kind of complaint, and they put it in the spinning software. And what the spinning software does is that it regenerates that as many times as you want, but it regenerates it using slightly different wording. So it looks like it was a letter written by a different person each time you see it. So what they do is they use the spinning software to generate a different letter for every email account. So it looks like that it's not coming from a single person. And so then they can bombard the targeted sponsors with all these letters, and then the customer relations department starts looking at these letters, and they appear all to be different, so they assume, and they're coming from valid email addresses, what they think are valid email addresses, what they think are valid Twitter and Facebook accounts, and they are tricked into believing that this is a real boycott or a real threat. Now, peppered in there, you're going to definitely have some kooks who actually do want there to be a uh, a boycott, but it doesn't. But they're just peppered in there. That it's AstroTurf. Everybody else, the thousands of others, are all fake. Now, how do I know this? Well, I own a few websites, and over the years, I've been, in my retirement, I've been trying to learn about how websites work and all that. And what I learned over the years was that for a while, no longer, but for a while, Google was having a hell of a time with people using this stuff to fake traffic volume to their sites to generate ad revenue that they would get then from Google. And it would also be used to create, SEO rankings, so that when you go and you do a Google search for something, their website would appear higher because it appeared to have more authority because it was getting more site traffic, and it was all fake. And well, Google has long since discovered this scam, and they put the kibosh on it, and they penalized very heavily anybody who was engaged in those practices. But the same tools are now being used for another purpose, and this is the purpose they're using it for. It's very obvious, and I just wanted to try to explain it to people who are like me. They're not hackers, they're not really technical people, but you hear these stories about how Rush Limbaugh claimed that thousands of emails that were being registered as registering complaints to his sponsors were not real. And he has actually said on the air that this is what they do. They create all these thousands of email accounts, and they're all fake. And it's been proven. And the fact that there are so many thousands, even millions. Facebook has 68 million fake accounts, and Twitter has, I think, 20 million fake accounts. And that's just a problem waiting to happen. And I think in the case of O'Reilly, it did happen. Now, I know a lot of people are saying like, well, O'Reilly still did these things, and it was 5 cases, and he settled for $13 million and all that. I'm not even arguing that. I'm just and that's a completely separate thing. What I'm talking about is how does it happen that people can go on the internet and create an astroturf kind of movement, and how easy is it? The answer is it's very easy if you know what you're doing and you're a hacker, and if you know how to write code, which a lot of people these days do. I don't, but a lot of people know how to do. Forget it. I mean, this can be done by somebody, in between playing video games. So, a word to the wise in these for the sponsors of a lot of these radio and TV shows. You really have to investigate this stuff before you start canning people, because anything that's coming through the internet has to be questioned. It just has to be, because it can always be faked. It's very easily done, and we should know this now. We should know this now, especially now that something like this can happen. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I hope that I gave you some information you didn't know. That's the whole purpose of this, and if you did, just go down there, leave a comment, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks. Take care.